Am I the idiot for telling my mom she is dead to me if she mentors my bully? So my 16 male mom, 40, is a teacher at my school. Our school has a special elective you can take, which is being a teacher's aide during your elective period. It's mostly stuff like grading papers for them, making copies, mentoring, etc. It's pretty much always just the teacher's favorite student at the time. I found out at the beginning of the semester that my mom chose Dave, 17, male, to be her TA. Dave has made my life a living nightmare since middle school. He has bullied me mercilessly both physically and emotionally since the 6th grade. I don't want to get into everything he's done to me, but everyone is fully aware of it, including the school and my parents. There have been countless meetings with school administration and suspensions on his end, but it never stopped him. Since we've been in high school, I haven't had to see him as much, which is a relief, but the times that I do, are always terrible. When I found out that he was her new TA, I was obviously very hurt and confused. I asked her why would she want to spend extra time with someone who made my life so terrible. She said that she had him in one of her classes, and that he really isn't such a bad kid, but he has a really terrible home life, that she can't tell me about, that makes him act out. For the record, my mom has always had a soft spot for kids who come from bad homes. I reminded her of all the things he had done to me, and she said that she understands, but he really needs help right now. I told her I get that, but why does it have to be you? We have a huge school full of teachers and staff who can mentor him. Why does it have to be you? She told me to stop being selfish, and some kids have it harder than I can imagine, and she's just trying to help. I was honest with her and told her that if she continued to have him as her aide, she was dead to me. She was choosing him over me and she would no longer be my mother. Wow. I would no longer talk to her, and the minute I turned 18, I was moving out and she would never hear from me again. She rolled her eyes and said I was being dramatic, but after a couple of days of ignoring her, I was grounded. It didn't change my mind, and my dad then tried to force me to talk to her. I still refused, so they pretty much took everything away from me one by one for the past few weeks. I no longer have my car, computer, guitar, and most recently my art supplies, and I have to come home from school and go straight to my room, and am not allowed out, except dinner, until I start talking to her again. They don't realize that this is just strengthening my resolve. I'm going to sit in this empty room every day, silently, until I'm 18 and they'll never see me again. My mom keeps coming and crying and begging me to talk to her, which makes me feel kind of bad, but she still won't remove Dave as her aide. Am I taking this too far? I just feel so betrayed. Wow. OP, also give us more info in the comments. Since the school already knows about the problem, have you considered talking to a trusted teacher or guidance counselor? She got one of my teachers to pull me aside and try to convince me to forgive her. He said all that crap about only having one mom and whatnot. When he stopped talking, I asked if he was done and just left the classroom. As for other teachers, I don't really know who I could talk to. I'm a pretty quiet person, and don't really form any close bonds with any of my teachers, like some kids do. Info: is your father not seeing the damage being done to your family by all this? Why is he okay with her being TA for your bully, and is it more important than your well-being? It seems like they have more empathy towards that bully, but not their own son. My dad is kind of in the middle. He understands why I am upset, but thinks I'm taking it too far by refusing to talk to her. I know he's tried talking my mom into dropping Dave, but I think he just thinks it would be easier to control me than her. Talk to a counselor, tell them what happened. I mean, I could, but I just feel everyone at the school already knows the situation by this point, and the bullying was never taken seriously before, so why would this? I've had a lot of time to think about things recently, and I think it mostly just comes down to everyone not really believing I can be a victim of bullying. I'm really not trying to victim blame or anything, but I don't think most people would imagine me when they hear bully victim. I'm big, somewhat athletic, and on the tennis team. I'm not popular by any means, but I have a close group of friends, who are all on my side by the way. I'm just really quiet by nature and am not good at conflict. I think all the adults see this and think, well, he isn't really a bully victim. I'm sorry, OP, that all the adults in your life are being jerks and neglecting the gravity of the situation you're going through. I'm sure if it were the other way around, if you were spending time with someone your mom had a problem with, she'd do much worse than simply asking you to stop. I say this given how your parents handled your punishment. You're not wrong here, she is. She's thinking more like a teacher than a mother, and I understand that it may be difficult for her, but knowing your bad history with him, she could ask someone else to mentor him. Honestly, I think most teachers would have trouble being completely professional and impartial with students who bully their children. It could be that OP's mom is trying to get the boy to stop bullying him? Or is it that, as OP said, she doesn't take his bullying serious? I don't know, but either way, she's the one in the wrong here. And yes, OP, I do think you should try talking to a counselor, a relative, or even a friend of your mother's, to try to talk to her, and see if you can get her to understand your side. I also think she doesn't want to give in, and maybe even admit she was wrong. At first, she thought you were just being dramatic, throwing a tantrum, but even now that she knows you're serious, she doesn't want to back down from her decision. This has turned into a power struggle between her, an adult, and you, her teenage son. And if she removes Dave as her TA, it means you win, and she doesn't want that. Anyway, you're not the idiot, and you're not wrong for feeling betrayed, because you are, anyone would feel the same. I'm very sorry, OP. And what do you guys think of this situation? How would you react if you were OP? Do you think OP is overreacting? Or do you think OP's mom is right? What would you do in a situation like this? Don't forget to leave your thoughts down below. Now, let's read some of the comments before going to the update. Not the idiot, the damage is done, hope your mother realizes she effed it up. In a few years, mom will post asking about why her son hates her, leaving most of the context out of the post. Not the idiot, I'm sure Dave has a rough life, but it doesn't excuse his cruelty towards you. I would be extremely hurt if my mom sided with my bully. Your mom should ask one of her colleagues to take him on as an aide and then tell Dave that, given his prior history with you, it is no longer appropriate for him to be her aide. I find it ironic that your parents not only chose your bully over your well-being, but also perpetuated the bullying. They are also being bullies with you, for the way they are punishing you for disagreeing with them. Not the idiot. Not the idiot, if my mother would have done that to me or one of my brothers, we would have treated her like a traitor. She puts her savior complex or whatever this is over your mental health. She is, in addition to that, disloyal to your family, just ignore her and organize your life. Do good in school and leave her behind when you are old enough and independent. I cannot even compute how people do this to their own blood, but here we are. I wish you the best. And what did you guys think of the comments? Did you agree with them? I particularly agree when someone says that even though Dave's home life may be problematic, it's not an excuse for him to be a bully. Do you guys agree? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Oh, and I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. This helps me and the channel, so I really appreciate it. Now let's go to the first update. Update. I'm sorry I stopped answering everyone's questions. I just kind of freaked out when this blew up out of nowhere, and I almost deleted it a few times, because I was scared someone at school would see it and recognize me. Everyone letting me know that it's not my fault helped a lot though, so I felt less embarrassed about someone I know potentially seeing it. Nothing has really changed, but a lot of you made a good point that, if I'm really going to go this route, then I need to come up with a plan for what I'm going to do when I get out. I considered the military like some people suggested, but then I remembered my school has a special trade program. You go to our school for half a day, then spend the other half at our local community college taking trade classes. I think depending on what you are doing you can get an associate's degree, or whatever certifications you need by the time you graduate. I went to my guidance counselor during lunch today and told her I wanted to switch to that program. She acted really surprised and asked why do I want to change now, since I'm already taking AP classes and am on the college track. I told her I didn't want to talk about it, but I would need to be ready for independence when I graduated, and this seemed like the best way. She said it might be too late to change this semester, but she would look into it for me and let me know. I just read your update. The trades are actually a great way to go. You make money faster than a college graduate and you don't end up in massive student debt. Trades are also transferable to anywhere. You can literally move to any city and get a good paying job. You could even go to another country. It would open up a whole different world for you. Sounds like a smart plan. Have you chosen a particular trade? HVAC, plumbing, or electrician would be smart choices. Thank you. From what she said, the first semester you do a little of everything, and decide what you like, then choose from there. Honestly, I'm not sure what they even offer yet, but I could see myself doing something like electrical. Well, it looks like OP is making plans to go no contact with his parents after he legally becomes an adult. And yeah, if things continue like this, there's a good chance OP's parents will lose their son for good. Now, let's go to the next update. Update: am I the idiot for telling my mom she is dead to me if she mentors my bully? To everyone who said my mom was sleeping with Dave. You were right. What? Just kidding, y'all are weirdos and watch too much porn. A lot has actually happened since last week, and while nothing is really fixed, I think things are going in the right direction. On Friday, I got called out of class to the guidance counselor. When I got there, my mom and the assistant principal were there as well. The counselor asked me to sit down, and said that me changing tracks from college to trade, like I mentioned in my last post, was a big decision. And she wanted to sit down with my mom and me, to figure out if this really was the best for my future. She first asked me if I would fully explain why I wanted to switch. I explained the whole situation from my perspective and about how I was being punished. I said that if this is how I was going to be treated from now on, I wanted to become independent as soon as possible, and going to college would have me relying on my parents for longer than I would like. She then asked my mom if she had anything she would like to add. My mom tried to downplay the whole situation at first, and make it look like I was just being stubborn and disrespectful, but as the counselor asked her more questions, it became pretty clear that my side was the truth. After this, the assistant principal stepped in and said that a teacher's aide was not worth all of this turmoil, and that Dave would be switched with another teacher. The counselor then asked me if this would help me to start working things out with my mom. I said not really, because it wasn't even her choice, and she hasn't even admitted she's done anything wrong. She then asked my mom if she was willing to apologize for anything that had happened. My mom gave a half-hearted apology where she said things had gone overboard, and she never meant to hurt me so much. The counselor asked if I would like to apologize for anything as well, and I said not really, but nobody pressed me on it. The counselor then said about my transfer, it was too late for this semester. What she suggested is that my mom and I, and possibly my dad, should go to a family counselor for the rest of the semester. I would stay in my current classes, my parents would give me all my stuff back, and we could see if we can come to some kind of peace before next semester. She then asked my mom that if after that, I still had not changed my mind, would she accept the class changes. My mom said no at first, because she wanted me to go to college, but I told her that she had already failed me as a mother once, so please don't do it again. She got really quiet and said she would agree to it, if that was what I really wanted. When I got home, all my stuff was returned to me. I also started talking to my mom again. I just kind of felt like there wasn't a point to ignoring her anymore. I don't treat her like a mother or anything anymore, but I'll answer her if she asks me a question. It just feels like that now that I have a plan. A lot of my anger is gone, and I just see her as a person who happens to live in my house. We haven't scheduled our first counseling session yet, but I don't see it changing much anyway. The damage is done, so I don't see myself changing my mind. That's pretty much it. I probably won't update again unless something crazy happens or something. Thank you to everyone who gave me good advice. Wow. That is a kick-ass counselor. I am impressed. Like, shit, I have to be the adult here, really? So, Mom, you are wrong. You were supposed to be a professional and you had to disappoint your own kid? Gross. You are off. Hey kid with potential, have your stuff back and please be a better person than your mom. Like me, LOL. OP, thanks for the update. I wished your mom was smarter. Your school counselor is awesome, freaking by far, the best I ever heard of. And you should stick with your plans. I don't think there will be a counselor in college to put your parents in their places. I have read too many stories of parents threatening to not pay their kids' college. If you cut their wings sooner, perhaps you won't have to endure Thanksgiving, Christmas, and birthdays being trapped with their plans. See ya. I'm so sorry your mother isn't capable of seeing how she's hurting you, but at least it's a change for the better. I agree that until your mom sees that what she did was wrong, and that she totally disregarded your feelings, and disrespected you, not much will change, and she can't expect it to just magically heal. Your mom has some serious soul searching to do. Wow, the really sad thing about this update is that it seems like OP's mom still doesn't understand that she was wrong, or how much it was hurting her son. I mean, it seems like she understood that in part, when he told her not to fail him again, but still, she doesn't admit her mistake, nor does she truly apologize. And even if OP says he wouldn't, I really think that if she apologized, sincerely apologized to him, they could have again a mother-son relationship. Because for right now, OP doesn't see her as a mother anymore. And what did you guys think of this update? What other advice would you give OP? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, go watch the video that is appearing on the screen right now or click on one of our playlists that are in the description to watch more videos. Until next time.